right-wing influencers who supported Donald Trump during the election are now running away from the man that they had once supported. Who am I talking about? Joe Rogan, Theo, Andrew Schulz, Sean Ryan, and even Aiden Ross are all now sitting around going, wait a minute, the stuff that's happening, that's not cool. It's not what we voted for. Oh my God, I've made a serious mistake. Okay. Now, all without, of course, saying I've made a mistake part, because they never take any responsibility. But anyway, let me give you some examples here. Joe Rogan and Theo, of course, have been critical of mass deportations, the mass deportations that Trump said he was going to do. I mean, he did kind of say it, and now he's doing it. Now, Schulz and his co-host, Akash Singh, however, criticized Trump for not fulfilling any of his campaign promises, like, lowering the cost of groceries day one, that whole thing. He said everything Trump campaigned on, I believed he wanted to do. Well, that's because he lies. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing of every single effing thing I voted for, none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for. Well, but you did vote for it. And he did say that he was going to do a lot of the things that he was doing. Now, in particular, Schulz pointed to Trump's failure to end the wars in Europe and the Middle East. Also, the deficit spending in Trump's budget, with the big, beautiful bullshit bill, okay, that, yes, it increases the deficit. And it also cuts $2 trillion out of Medicaid and also cuts food stamps and all that stuff. Yeah. But it cuts taxes for the rich. So, they're happy about that one. And, of course, he also criticized Trump's deportation campaign. Look, I got to say, Leopards, meet face. We warned you that this was going to happen. We told you, don't vote for the Leopards. Don't vote for the Leopards. They're going to eat your face. And that's exactly what they're doing. Okay. So now, getting to another example here. Last month, Theo actually went after the Department of Homeland Security for using one of his images in one of their ads, saying, yo, DHS, I didn't approve to be used in this. I know you know my address, so send a check, Vaughn wrote in a since deleted post on X. And please take this down, and please keep me out of your banger deportation videos. When it comes to immigration, my thoughts and heart are a lot more nuanced than this video allows. No, well, now, wait a minute. Why would he delete that? That was a banger. Well, it's because he got a call and a lot of backlash from his own audience. In fact, he said, I woke up the next morning to a text from a high government official saying, hey, if you need some extra security in your neighborhood or some extra police cars, let me know. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Extra security? I don't even know the code of my Ring camera. And then what are you going to do? What are you just going to put police cars in my neighborhood? What are my neighbors going to think? That really kind of shook me. So yeah, apparently that backlash was pretty significant for them to offer police. Or maybe it was intimidation, maybe to intimidate him, saying stop talking bad about the president here. Because I thought you were one of the good ones. I thought you were one of our friends. If you're not one of our friends, then you're a radical leftist or something. It's that angle, too. What about Joe Rogan? Well, in March, just 2 months after Trump was sworn in, Rogan talked about several of the news reports that he just found out about, that where the U.S. was deporting asylum seekers to places like CCOT. He said, if you want compassionate people to be on board with you, which he doesn't, you can't deport gay hairdressers seeking asylum. That's effing crazy. And then throw them in an El Salvadorian prison, which is what he did. I mean, doesn't care. And then they lied and they gaslit and, about the stuff that they're doing on immigration. Not a surprise. Now, in July, Rogan also called it effing crazy that the Trump administration had detained a Tufts University student, Rumiesa Ozturk, because of an editorial that she had written calling on our university to divest from any companies that have ties to Israel. So, BDS, which of course the Trump administration hates the idea of, okay? Calls that anti-Semitism. Insane. Now, Schulz and Vaughn over the summer also broke with Trump over his moves to downplay the importance of the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. As well as over the administration's continued support for Israel as it does genocide in Gaza. In fact, on the episode of Flagrant in July, Schulz said, obviously the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously the Trump administration is trying to cover it up, talking about the Epstein stuff. He is rebuking the base, like almost spitting in their face. I mean, yeah, but there's people that are part of the Trump base that like that. They're into that. Joke's on you, I'm into that shit. No, but they are. They're like, oh yeah, spit on me harder, daddy. Yeah, maybe you could tread on me a little bit there too. You know what I'm saying?
Sexual anarchy.
Hey, it's what they're into. Right? Some of them. But anyway, here's the thing. Okay, he said they're asking for it, the Epstein files. He campaigned on it. But look, he never meant it. He never meant it. Yes, he campaigned on it. He campaigned on a lot of things that he never meant. Because he lies. He lies all the time. He is a serial liar. Okay? Over 30,000 times in just his first 4 years. And you didn't think this guy was, what, not going to lie to you? To your audience in order to get their votes? I need your votes. You vote for me, you never have to vote again. That's what he said. And he actually did mean that. You vote for me, you never have to vote again. Because I'm going to steal it. And I don't need, I just need your vote. I just need your vote. And that's all he wanted. He didn't give a damn about you. At all. At all. And now when it comes to Israel, of course, Theo Vaughn slammed the country's support, Trump's support. And also, I got to, point at Biden, because Biden also massively supported Israel. And I think that was wrong. But Theo Vaughn went after Trump for that. And he had actually told Vice President J.D. Vance to his face that the videos that he was seeing from Gaza were the sickest thing, and said, where it gets scary is that we give, we're complicit in it because we help fund, like, military stuff. These are the big talkers on the right, okay? Just saying. But he's not wrong, though. He's not wrong, okay? Sometimes it feels like we look out for the interest of Israel before we look out for the interest of America. Bingo. Bingo. And it is because of AIPAC, Miriam Adelson, the Ellisons, and other huge Trump donors. Okay? This group, AIPAC, and their subgroups, I guess, the other related PACs like Democratic Majority for Israel, constantly getting inside of, progressive campaigns, derailing them, supporting people like Richie Torres, who are just staunch Zionists. Like, that's what that money goes for. That is right-wing billionaire money going into getting our country to support financially what they're doing in Gaza, which is a genocide. There's ethnic cleansing going on there. Okay? And that's what our government is doing, thanks to these donors. Okay? Now, in September, finally, this is after Trump celebrated the very short-lived cancellation of Jimmy Kimmel and his show, for saying something true, not about Charlie Kirk. He was just addressing how people like Trump were using the murder of Charlie Kirk to try to go after Trump's political enemies, okay? So he didn't even say anything bad about Charlie Kirk himself, but that was enough to get him canceled. Well, it turns out these hosts were not exactly thrilled about that either. Theo Von said, quote, "I definitely don't think that the government should be involved ever in dictating what a comedian can or cannot say in a monologue. That's effing crazy." He added that people on the right who were celebrating the decision from Disney were crazy for supporting this because this will be used on you. Whereas Singh, the co-host of Flagrant, also denounced the move, saying that it was a big attack on free speech, and of course had criticized conservative activists for celebrating the suspension of Kimmel. Quote, "I think we've been pretty staunchly in favor of free speech, and it's funny to watch right-wing people just become left-wing people. If you agree with this, that's some snowflake shit." Actually, for us on the left, we do believe in free speech. We don't want the government to come in and silence people for their opinion. No. What the right doesn't understand is what free speech actually means. It just means the government can't come in and silence you, throw you in jail for your opinion. Okay? That doesn't say anything about having, I don't know, somebody, for example, get kicked off of a social media platform for spewing racist garbage. That is not actually free speech because it's not the government that's doing it. These private companies do have the right to do moderation on their own platforms. If anything, the Trump administration's anti-free speech because they want to basically shut down Section 230, which would make social media companies be liable for comments from users. So if a user starts saying some pretty bad stuff, that's actually going to increase moderation because the company doesn't want to be held liable for it. So the whole Trump administration's, "Oh, we're in favor of free speech." When you look at their policy, they're not in favor of free speech at all. They want to shut it down. So, but yes, those of us on the left, we're against that. We do, though, believe in free speech, but we also believe in consequences for that speech. That is part of freedom, okay? Freedom also means accepting the consequences of the things that you say. So if you are spreading a bunch of racist, transphobic garbage, for example, online, then you should expect other people to use their freedom of speech to say, actually, that's garbage, bro. That's it. That's free speech right there. But anyway, one more. Aiden Ross. Okay. Aiden Ross said on his show, quote, "I will never care about another politician again. We are all humans at the end of the day." Okay. Yeah. Look, I'll agree with that. Here's one problem. You voted to treat trans people and immigrants as not human. That's what you did. That's what you did. All right. By voting for Donald Trump, by not just voting for him, but by supporting him and not introducing, but putting him in front of your audience. In fact, I love the comment here from Matt14 on X, who said, "It cannot be said enough that Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do when he went on all of these men's podcasts." Another wrote, "We are permanently trapped at these people's mercy while forced to watch them slowly learn shit people generally figure out in 11th grade. Possibly earlier. It's true, though. Hey, look, it's cool that they're learning and all, but it's kind of a little bit late here, especially for the people who's had their lives wrecked. Think of the immigrants, by the way, who ended up who didn't have, the majority do not have criminal records, that got sent to El Salvador, okay? Had their lives completely wrecked. The people that went to Alligator Alcatraz that are missing now. The 1,200 people that are just gone. No records. Their lawyers can't find them. Their families can't find them. They're just gone. They disappeared. Where are they? Are they even still alive at this point? We don't know. Those people's lives got wrecked. Okay? Absolutely destroyed. And so you can't really make it up to them at this point. Okay? And it's all because you supported a madman. The Mad King. Again, you propped him up. You endorsed him. You got him in front of your millions of fans, and you let him lie over and over to you and to all of them. No pushback whatsoever. None at all. You, podcasters, you helped him win over young men. And now the damage that he is causing is partly on you. That's your responsibility. You ignored all of the warnings. It's not like they weren't there. You ignored all the history of what he did in his first term. It's not like he's a complete political unknown here. He was president for 4 years and he fucked things up royally within those first 4. And now we've got even more. At the end of the day, you voted for that. You voted for that. And you shouldn't be allowed to just simply walk away from that damage. No, be a man. Own your mistakes. Own it. And apologize. But of course, y'all probably won't. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.